The ISO is mounted. Okay, I have the ISO mounted. No suitable disks found.
Won't allow you to proceed because I have tightened up this SSH.
Okay.
And you won't be able to SSH into the machine without a key.
I don't use Proxmox, so I don't know how the fuck to do stuff here. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're fucking finally in 2 hours. 2 hours after, okay.
And we're doing it live, and it's actually educational. We talked about some demo in the past. This is just a small little thing because in the last stream we talked about Home Assistant and you wanted to give it a try. Potentially, we may be able to set up your lights. We'll see how far we get, but it will be pretty cool. That way, the audience can see how Nix can be used to deploy servers with, in this case, Docker containers. It acts like a Docker compose, but you can have the repo. It has the build script, the deploy script. I did vibe code it. So
okay, yeah, I'm fine with that, man. I've been vibe coding a lot of stuff as well. You know, it's usually stuff that is useful for me, right? And I don't care. You know, honestly, I don't care.
Well, I've been using it privately, right? So I have a different project that this originates from. However, this is my contribution to, let's say, the public, right? I want to give back something for all these years of getting knowledge for free.
Yeah. Okay. So,
this will be open sourced, and everybody that wants to use it will be able to use it. As a matter of fact, there is a little inspirational note inside the script. We'll see later. It's to thank whoever I got the idea for the script from. Hopefully it's noticeable enough. If not, I'll change it. We'll make it even more noticeable.
Okay. Let's do it then. You want to show on your side what you have prepared?
Oh, I was hoping that I can just give you the GitHub and you can open it on your end. And then just clone it. And
we can do that.
Go from there and see if the AI potentially, handled everything correctly. Because I told her, like, hey, this is going to be tested on a live stream, So this is the GitHub repo. Shared it with you in WhatsApp.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, be careful. Don't show it on the main screen. But at least the rest of the chat that we have,
Yep. Let's see. Okay.
We're cooking some secrets with Christian. This is a brand new repo. Just got edited 30 minutes ago. You can see.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see something here.
Now, I'm not a professional software developer, so I know how to do proper repos so we can share with, public and all that. But I'm happy to use that project essentially to learn. So anybody wants to share some knowledge and get me more professional looking, let's make this project something interesting. I think it's pretty cool. It's working for me. I hope it'll work for other people. I know Ted could use it.
Okay, so let's give it a try then. Would be through HTTPS then.
Yep.
Now I'm going to clone it. Okay, it's a public repo. Okay. So I'm going to name it. Well, I'm just going to clone it here. Okay. So it's this Rumen HA Nix. Okay.
It's Rumen HA Nix or HA Nix. That stands for Home Assistant Nix.
Okay. So let's see. Man, what is all this then? Is this where you build the ISO from all these files?
Yes. This is, I would say, the management repo. So this holds the build script, the actual ISO write to USB. According to the AI, we made sure that it's Linux and macOS adapted. So the build script should take care of building the ISO. However, on Mac, it has to use GitHub Actions because Mac cannot build a ISO for Linux, essentially.
Okay. So where is the ISO going to be stored then? On GitHub?
That's a good question. Let me figure it out. In this case, since we're on Mac with you, we're going to be taking care of the ISO from one of the latest actions. So there is a link here with the latest build action that succeeded. So let me share that with you and see if it's going to give you the ISO.
Okay. And what does it do with SSH keys?
The reason what we use SSH keys for is for deployment. So this...
or does it generate a new key?
According to the AI, the way we did it is with GitHub. It's supposed to copy a GitHub SSH-key, because normally the way I install it is I actually write my key already to the ISO. So mine is hard-coded, but I wouldn't share my, private ISO with you guys.
Yep.
Because then my key, well, you'll see my public key, which means I can probably log into your machine. However, there's another aspect that it does, and that is automatically joins the machine into my Tailscale net. So I also have in my personal private ISO, I have hard-coded my Tailscale alt key. And whenever I use the key, it tags it on my Tailscale net. So it's locking it to only me to be able to access it. This gives me ability to make iterations. Now, the public version contains kind of like a pre-built set of modules. In this case, we're using Home Assistant, we're using Homebridge, and Node-RED.
Hold on. Do related to SSH keys, my local keys, and GitHub keys.
Ask for the build script.
For this install.sh script. So it grabs, you said, what does it do with GitHub? So we send it as a GitHub action so that the image is built on GitHub, the ISO is built there, and we download the ISO from GitHub, or how is this going to work?
In theory, yes. We download it from GitHub once it's built, because me and you cannot build it with Mac. That's one of the main reasons I actually started using NixOS, because I needed a machine that can build without having additional friction. As I explained to you last time, one of the problems with servers that, let's say, less capable, they have less resources. If they're already running the services, the build process could hinder some of the background running services. The goal that I had was to pre-build the images on more powerful machines and then just send it over and just send a deploy command, so to speak. It's pretty much like building a Docker image. But maybe I don't know enough and the AI is just being confusing. But perhaps, see, it does not contain or manage a private SSH. But it says straight server.
My SSH public key. Okay. All file accessible from the installer. Okay. Okay, that's good. The ISO is mounted. Okay, I have the ISO mounted. No suitable disks found. Does it want like us? Well, does it refer to this disk? There's a disk there, It's connected, which is the one that it should use. This Nix Rumen 100 gigabyte disk. What could that mean? Let's see. Let's ask. Hold on. What do you think this could be related to? Okay, let's see. Let me ask this thing here real quick.
Now, when I gave that script to Ted to give it a try, he was able to spin it on one of his machines. I think he runs Proxmox.
Okay. Could be that. Hold on.
So my AI at least made a provision already. So I have a build. So our installer only matched dev/sd, dev/nvme, dev/vd. So it's on no suitable disks. We fixed and pushed. So there's a new fix. Detects Xen Orchestra installer disks. So now it's going to look SD, NVMe, VD, XVD, and MMCBOK. So we'll have to download the ISO one more time.
The new ISO? Okay. So it's...
sorry.
Oh, okay. So this path, you mean, right? Like...
yes, XVD. Yeah, it's going to detect essentially your Xen Orchestra path. It was only looking for SD, NVMe, and VD. Which is just the automated version or way to find the available disks, because it suggests the disks and it tells you, okay, based on wherever I got the idea from. I don't want to give up his name because obviously I want to see if the credits are good enough.
Okay,
right?
Tony,
it does say it's inspired.
You wanna toss
it's
Tony
Tony,
salad,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is Tony, but I took the idea from the script from Tonarchi. So he made a video about Tonarchi, which is his Omarchi implementation. And he built this script, which I borrowed some of the contents of that script and adapted it to my NixOS. And so in my details, I'm specifying there that...
Okay.
Yep.
So you already pushed this, so
waiting on
the
the PSL.
ISO is
Yep.
built. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. In the meantime, let me delete the other ISO.
Do you have any questions so far, or how? I mean, I know it's very complex, especially if you don't have it set up. But once it's set up, it's pretty easy to enroll a new host. It's pretty easy to deploy. It's almost like a Docker kind of setup.
It's actually something that I should have done a long time ago. Okay, because I had to create a template of this image 13.6, and it took me a long time. So when I want to deploy a new machine, I have a set of scripts. Do you hear those motherfuckers there in the background? They're banging at something. You hear them? They're constructing shit at 7 p.m. Here. So it's the third world, brother. Like that is how it is here. But using a template is good. The script that I use deploys and installs the tools. It adds stuff to my router. That's a lot of things. But NixOS would be way simpler in that case. I don't know the pros and cons yet. I would have to give it a try, because all of these VMs that you see here, they were built using scripts. Okay. But
the repo is the script. So the repo is the sort of like the building block manager, right? So my repo is what does the whole management and deployment. And so I believe in the repo, I also posted a demo config, so you can kind of see what a host would.
And what happens if I don't choose a key right now?
It won't allow you to proceed because I have tightened up this SSH.
Okay.
And you won't be able to SSH into the machine without a key. That's why this step is crucial. Yes.
The root password is disabled, right? So you cannot even log in with password.
No.
Okay.
It's fully disabled. That's why I'm allowing myself to use the root, because I know that I've tightened up the security to a certain point that you cannot even, like, there is a point where it's going to ask you to create a password for the actual HA Nix user, and that is only for you to log in. Okay. It's not going to give you an option to sign in as root.
Let me take a look. Okay, so if I type my username, how does it get my public key then? Like, do I have a public key?
That portion I don't know, because the AI vibe coded that portion. It's supposed to just grab keys, and I think your AI actually was able to figure it out. It gave you an answer of where it's taking keys from.
What I can do is manually manual paste, manually type the key. Yeah, we type it letter by letter. Because, okay, but if we try this, hold on.
Here, if you want, I'm making an edit right now. If you want, give me your, well,
no, hold on,
wise decision, because I was going to upload it into the repo.
Hold on. What happens if I do this? Hold on. Other NixOS 2 or
yes, you can rebuild it. That's something that I'm doing on private end, but I didn't want to publicly disclose that. I didn't want people to have my keys.
I think I have an option to, hold on.
Now, is your fork private or public?
Mine is public.
Okay.
This thing, oh no, because it's other type of media, it does not allow me. This template for this thing does not allow me to upload the public key here. Only on the Debian template. Something that can be curled from within the VM. Let's ask AI and see what suggestions it comes up with, okay, based on what we have, okay, because we're just making things maybe a little bit complicated, okay. Let's paste this into that motherfucker and let's see what it does, okay. I'm gonna ask it here. Look at this. And I cannot, in Xen Orchestra, I don't think I can paste the public key directly into the console. Is there a way to file path? What happens if I choose file path? If I choose something, if I choose that option, file path, does it ask me for
click file path? Yeah, let's click it and see what it's going to give you as far as a file path. And my guess is going to ask you to type in a file path.
Hold on.
In which case, your VM needs to be able to expose that. In this case, Xen Orchestra needs to be able to expose that path. But I think we're making it a little bit more complicated. So let me make the edit where the building process actually will happen on the Nix machine as we're installing, which is going to be a Linux machine. and we're only going to build the minimal kind of like ISO that just has the install script.
So you're gonna push it again. You're gonna push it again.
But you won't be downloading such a big image because, as one of the chat users said,
Look,
if you,
the ISO
and I think the
pitches,
mistake there.
all public keys published at. Need to
Do you have
paste.
any public keys there?
Let me take a look. Okay. Need to send. But the VM.
Oh yeah, you can use the clipboard. You can use the clipboard button near the upper right.
Which one?
Paste it yourself. The actual console page should have a paste button. This is what I use with my KVM.
Oh, it does. Hold on. Let's see. It has this multi-line copy thing here, but
no.
You see, like it doesn't have like a paste. What is this shit for? Like, does it copy stuff from here? What does this do?
Click, hold on, send to clipboard. It's gonna send. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is the thing. So put your SSH key right here.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it. My public key, which should be this one, but I have to choose manual paste first, right?
Yes, manual paste. Put 2.
Manual paste.
Do and enter.
Oh, but it says choice 1. Hold on.
You should be able to just type in 2. There you go, and enter. And then now use that. Yeah, now use the paste.
Okay, so there's my public key.
Yeah, click OK.
Does it send it?
Should.
Copy. You see? Doesn't send anything.
No, I think it should have sent it, but it's hidden. So let's presume that you're just gonna press enter.
It is a pub key. Yeah, that is my public key. Yeah, it's not the private key. Should it? Did it? Let's see. It's required for remote access.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't paste it for some reason.
Let's see. Manual paste. Paste 1 public key per line. Send to clipboard. Okay, so if I hit OK and I right click or I do Command V here, does it do something? Like, what do you mean send to clipboard?
It should send it to the, I guess, to the clipboard of the thing, but since it's a console, what if you try Control Shift and V?
Command Shift V?
No, Control Shift and V.
Control Shift V. Nope.
The V, it doesn't work.
Nope. Control Shift
V. And V.
Nope.
Yeah, it doesn't work because it probably doesn't have a paste option. Hold on, let me see what's mine selling.
Okay, this would be an option. Public keys published at this. I think this has internet access. Does it? It has.
It should.
Well, no.
So the question is.
Oh yeah, it should.
Okay.
It should have. It should have. Okay. Did this? Hold on. So what if we try this option then? Your username keys. Okay.
Let's try it. We'll have to check what kind of keys do you have.
Yep.
It's going to be public keys. But yeah.
And let's see. Where can I see my public keys? GitHub. I'm gonna upload it there. Control V not working. I don't think Control V works. Let's see. Control V. No. Control Shift V. Command.
It should be Control Shift V as in paste, but because on Linux, command is actually control. However, I'm not sure with the console whether you actually have the clipboard per se.
Yeah.
Because it says send to clipboard, and normally on a desktop environment you actually have a clipboard, but this is just a console, so you don't have that.
Okay, let me add it. Let me add the key. I have it here.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be just like the easiest thing. Your avatar, settings, SSH, and GPG keys. Okay. Your avatar, settings, SSH, GPG keys. Command Shift V didn't work. Did not, man.
I think the building process is where I was like fighting it last time, and that's when I switched to NixOS. Oh no.
One dependency failed. Cannot build. Look.
Here, let me try to grab a screenshot and we'll troubleshoot it live. Yeah. Rumen, I told you it's vibe coded. I don't pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Took me many iterations to actually there's a newer version, 2605. We could even try.
Now, what the hell is this clipboard for then, man? Like,
I don't know. I don't do Xen Orchestra things. So I don't.
Send to clipboard. I'm wondering, am I not using it correctly? What the fuck is this thing doing, man? Next door. Modules shrunk. Switch to herder. Herder.
Herder.
You can use Nix log and then the store path to get the logs, dump it to a file. I don't use Proxmox, so I don't know how the fuck to do stuff here. So let's see what happens. Node prox 1. Okay. VM ID 100 is fine, I think. resource pool. Nothing shows up, so we're just gonna leave it at that. If there's Proxmox users in here, we're gonna need your help. Oh, but I need
That
to
is one of them for sure.
I need to upload the ISO first. Hold on. How do I upload it? How do I upload it? I think it must ISO images.
Upload right there, top left corner.
No, but it's not here. Hold on. Is the rest of them don't show up? Where's the rest of them? Okay. Downloads. Hold on. So I'm gonna show my dick all over YouTube, and that's not.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to structure it so it's easier to kind of build and more user friendly in a sense. Definitely need some contribution. I want to see this kind of like in the public, in the wild, see how it goes.
Okay, let's see what happens with Proxmox, okay? Proxmox is based on Debian, so we shouldn't have an issue. I think it has something to do with Xen Orchestra.
What about the temp folder? Like the folder that it uses while building. Well, I'm supposed to use the disk, but what about the mount folder that we're mounting to? How big is that one? Because what I'm thinking is happening is the ISO is 1.3 gigabytes, but the packages are, I think, once it downloads all the packages, it goes up to like 3 gigabytes everything. And I think it's having an issue with using the temp folder that it's utilized by Xen when it's having, because hold on, it said what's the reason there. Let me read the reason, although I did screenshot it, but
dependency next door cannot build, but I gave it 100 gigs. That's the disk that it has assigned. So but let's do it here in Proxmox. Okay, it finished already.
Okay,
it uploaded the ISO. We're going to come here, create VM, Nix test. We're just gonna leave everything as is right now. Storage, ISO image. There we go. Type. What do we select here, chat? Like, chat is the one that is gonna have to tell us other or Linux. I'll go with my gut. If I don't see a response in chat, we'll just go with this. Okay. Chat didn't say anything, so let's just go next here. Graphics card, default, machine, add CPM. Should we leave the default here? Okay, let's leave the default. I cannot scroll back, because I'm in the console here. So if I try to go up here, so you said it's control page up.
I thought it would be,
which one is page up? Page up. Look, no, it's control page up. I'm typing it.
That's your browser.
Yeah, but it does not.
Folks, you're watching live troubleshooting when having to fight Mac, working with Linux. Mac and Linux, not that friendly, but yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Disks. Let's give it 50 gigs, and we're just going to leave everything at defaults. Chemo image formats. So we leave it at that. Storage, local, available 91 gigs. Or on this other one, local LVM. Okay, let's leave it there. Next, let's see what happens. Where we said that we were gonna give it 4 cores. Type. We're going to do host here because I want to pass all the real machine capabilities. I think if I remember correctly. Let's do that here, and it's 4096, right? Okay. Yep. Confirm. CPU host, 4 gigs of RAM, 4 cores. We have the ISO specified here, and we have everything that we need. Finish. I didn't start it, right? Okay. Where it did start. Nix. There we go. Did it start? Okay. Let me just hide this so we have more space. Start now. Okay. For the 4th time. Okay. This is the one. We're gonna be able to do it this way. This time, Rumen. We'll succeed this time. Okay. So just enter, right? And sure. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Enter.
Yes.
Enter.
And it is 1.
Enter. Yep. And then just use your name.
Enter. And then yes. And boom. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Internet connection available. Okay. Building the configuration.
Yeah, there was a check that I installed there because a couple times I tried to install it and I had forgotten to plug in the cable to the machine.
Okay.
And then it basically failed the script, so I had to restart the whole thing. So I made sure that it has the internet connection. Let's hope it doesn't fail now. Although I've been making changes on the other side as you're getting some feedback. So there's some newer ISOs already.
Okay. What is that?
I see. I saw your chat with Ted.
He's the one that set you up. He told me.
Yeah,
hey,
I know. We
wanna
we
play
have been chatting and
okay, there we go. New password. What is this password for?
so for the user, so in case you need to do like sudo once you're SSH'd in, this is essentially the sudo user
Okay,
password.
I'm gonna use the name.
It's gonna be hidden.
The username.
So,
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna use the username because this is not accessible unless you installed like a Trojan horse on the machine, so you can reach
no,
it. But
I wouldn't.
otherwise, let's see. HANIX. New password. HANIX. We type it. Okay. Okay. So reboot it, right? Okay. Reboot it. So now what? This option, the default one.
Yep. And you're just gonna be in a console. That's it.
There we go. Okay. Let me remove the disk.
Now, do you have access to that machine? We can try to get IP address and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me just try to take out the ISO. Where's the ISO? Is it this one? Get it? Do not use any media. There we go. Console. Did you get an IP, brother? Oh, no guest agent configure. Okay. So I guess it doesn't get the IP until I install the guest agent, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Where's the MAC address for this thing? Hold on. I just need its MAC address so that I can get its IP. Hardware. This one. I think this is the one. 7588. Hold on. Let me switch here. And inbox. 7588. Hold on. Where's this thing? IP. Releases. 7588. Okay. So here it is. Nix. Okay. 148 is the IP that it got. Let me just make it static so that it doesn't change. 7588. 88, 148. Okay, so I have the IP here. Okay, so how do I SSH into it then? What's
you
the
need to
user?
select your key, so -I, whichever, or you should technically, since it has both of your keys, so you should be just able to SSH.
Oh, you know
So
what?
SSH.
Let me configure it. Hold on.
Now you're showing everybody how you technically configure things.
Yeah, hold on.
What's your workflow?
I'm just going to open this config file and put it here at the bottom. There we go. I can show this.
The user will be technically, oh, how I miss those commands. I know exactly what you're typing. I miss it. I haven't learned how to do that on Emacs yet.
Nix, what is it? Nix?
User.
Just like this?
Nix user. Yep.
88, 148. Okay, we're finally in 2 hours. 2 hours after, okay.
Hey, we're doing it live, and it's actually educational because one, I have been doing improvements as you're kind of working on it. And second, it shows everybody the struggles that you normally go through. And then I can record a video, or later at a different time, we can improve on it.
Okay. So we're here. What now?
Well, the services should already be running. So if you go on your browser and you type in the IP address of the thing, now there is a portion where there's Home Assistant asks for your location. If you don't allow it, it's not going to pull your location. So type in the address, and it's colon port 8123.
8123. Okay.
Yep.
Is it? Okay.
Please work. Please work.
HTTPS.
It should be HTTP.
HTTP. Okay.
I haven't gone that far. Yeah, haven't gone that far to adjust it. But now the question is, does Proxmox do anything to limit your network access to it? We can also check. We can also check if the service is running. So if you log in with that Nix password, the first login, you basically go Nix-user.
Yep, I'm here.
So log in here. Oh, you're inside. Okay, so it's a Docker. So just do sudo docker status.
Okay. It's Docker. Docker not found.
Don't know what happened there.
So
for some reason, Proxmox didn't download stuff.
So they're running. Okay. So all the services that you have running here are running as Docker containers, right? Hold on. Nix user. There's nothing in my home directory. So what happened then? Let's see. Where is this thing? This one.
Maybe we can look at the logs from the Proxmox to see if it's going to show us anything interesting.
Let's see. Yeah, so it has nothing there. This did it. Let's see. The ISO that you built, can you make sure that it installed Docker, the last ISO?
Yeah. So because I essentially had to create a brand new version of it because mine has so much how to say private stuff on it because it was on a private repo. It's it's my own thing, but I wanted to share it with the world, and I had to do like an offset, and I didn't want to just grab it and then copy it over and start dissecting it versus we started building it. But here's an example of where even in the build process, like I gave access to the AI to essentially look at the entire Git history of my entire private repo, right? And I said, hey, we need to prep this for a public, right? And I said, take note of everything. And it built this giant documentation of like everything it needs. And these are some of the bugs that I actually solved already in the past. And I recognize this. So this issue right now, likely it did not install Docker because something with the user. So for some reason, it did not install Docker, right? This is an issue I solved at some point in the past. And so right now it's actually building another ISO. So we could potentially just give it one last try before we kind of call it quits for the night. But I really wanted to show, I wanted to get to Home Assistant. So I think we can get to Home Assistant.
Yeah, we can get to Home Assistant next week. It's fine.
Well, we can give it just...
So we have the ISO here again for like the 10th time. What do I have in my downloads?
Sixth time, not that bad. And it's only your third ISO download. It's just your sixth attempt.
Yeah.
This is the sixth and final. If this doesn't go through, if it doesn't get you to the Home Assistant page, then we'll do a part 2 next time. And I think next time Ted's gonna join us, so he'll be able to actually contribute. Well, we're definitely gonna do part 2 because this is
permitted
just
insecure packages, Docker 28.5.2. Oh, let's see.
Part 2 incoming. I will make sure I smoke test it before with plenty of time, and then I will actually have you try it once it's ready, and then next time we'll just walk you through actually the Home Assistant install.